Hello Royals and welcome back to Happy Blonde. We are back with another Party Princess training video. I am standing up. That means we are tackling a mannerisms video. Hi, if you don't know who I am, my name is Shirley, better known as Happy Blonde on social media. I am a Party Princess, content creator, performance coach, and the proud owner of the character entertainment company Pixie Dusted. I am known in the industry for being a coach that is specialized in character, mannerisms, movement, and integrity. And I have been getting so many requests from the community to do another mannerisms video. If you are looking for character-specific mannerisms, this is not the place that you're going to find them. Definitely go ahead and enroll at Happy Blonde's Princess Training Academy. I have a ton of character-specific master classes there that you can learn how specific characters move, talk, think, all that stuff and jazz. Today, we are going to be talking about 5 mannerism key points that you need to have in order for your performances to be magical and high quality. So, I know you're all dying to get to know what they are. Let's go ahead and get started. The first key trait that your mannerisms need to have is that they have to be big yet contained. If you are a theater kid, this doesn't really make sense at all because you've grown up to understand that your mannerisms have to be very, very big, because if not, the audience at the far back of the theater is not really gonna understand. And if you do this at a party, I promise you, kids will look like at you like you need some help. So, what do I mean when I say that our mannerisms have to be big yet contained? Let's, for example, say that we're hanging out with Anna. Anna has a very big wave, but obviously we're not going to go ahead and do this. So how about we do this instead? And it's a little bit big because you're still moving from side to side and people don't normally do that, but it does look a lot more natural. Let's use a classic princess. If we are going to fix our hair, if you hear any noise, I have the kitties in the bedroom. So if you are going to fix your bangs, for example, usually I fix my bangs kind of like this, and this looks very, very small because obviously I am containing my entire movement inside my body. The key to these big movements is that your body silhouette needs to come out of the same shell. Let's say Belle. If she's gonna fix her band, she's not gonna go like this, like a very shy child. She's gonna go down into a bow and then bring them right back up. See how the hand already is so far away from my body? It makes the movement big, but it is still subtle, if that makes any sense. This brings me to the second key point, and that is that you need to have a natural elegance. It doesn't matter if you're hanging out with a princess or a hero or fairy or any character. You need to have a natural elegance that really comes with the movements. For princesses, that's a lot easy to understand because the key to natural and elegant movements is that they have to be fluid. You need to know that kids can't really understand where a mannerism ends and begins, because as a character, you can't really be standing like this, having this as a resting pose. If you're hanging out with Cinderella, for example, you can wave at a child, and then you can come right back and you can listen to a child in this precise pose and sometimes nod your head back and forth and really bring in a lot of movement, and you really don't understand where one mannerism ended and the other one started. It has a natural elegance to it because it is fluid. It is something that you have practiced before and it comes naturally to you. If you're hanging out with a hero and you are Captain America, this is going to be a very good pose for you to start off. And if you're listening to a child, you can nod and say yes. And see how everything still looks elegant? And it's still a hero. So that natural elegance comes with that fluidity. It comes with practicing your mannerisms. Now, the third key point that your mannerisms need to have can be a little bit ironic because we just talked about elegance, but they have to be strong and confident. What does this mean? For heroes, again, this is a lot easier to understand. For princesses, not so much. So, what is it that I truly mean? Whenever you have a mannerism that you want to tackle, or you have a character that you want to perform as at a party, don't go into the party and do this. Yeah, like I'm supposed to be standing like so. and oh, I have to wave. It looks insecure. Kids are naturally gonna think that you're not real because you're not being confident in what you're doing. This is a strong mannerism, and yet it is very, very elegant. How is it strong? Because number one, I am holding a frame. It is very, very important that you use all of the parts in your body in order to get a mannerism down and correct. That means your head, your neck, your torso, your arms, your shoulders, your hands, your fingers, everything comes into play just for me to do this. Right now, I know that I am holding a frame. I feel a little bit of tension over here. This is a frame that if somebody tries to push it down, it is sturdy. And every single mannerism that I put out and about, it has that strength and it looks confident because I genuinely know what movements I am putting out there. So it is very, very important for those mannerisms to be strong. Hold that frame in there. Really, really important for you to walk into a party and understand that every single movement that you're gonna make, you have it down to a T. Whether that's a picture pose, a resting pose, because sometimes we love to think about our characters and we love to think about, oh, for example, Rapunzel poses like this and she also does this, but we don't really think about what would be Rapunzel's resting pose. And Rapunzel's resting pose is sometimes back here, but you need to be careful of where your braid lies. So obviously you need to open up a little bit more. This is a resting pose I use for Rapunzel a lot, and I dabble back and forth because she really can't stay still. Another thing that you need to understand about your characters is how they talk, how they move, how everything is going to come into play with said mannerism pattern. Let's say, for example, I am Rapunzel and I am introducing myself, and I can easily say, hello, my name is Rapunzel from the Kingdom of Corona. Notice how many movements I just made, and every single one of them is connected to each other. So we talked about big movements that are a little bit more contained. We talked about a natural elegance and fluidity, and we also talked about strength and confidence. What is another thing that we need? Dynamics. This is something that so many people get lost in, specifically with classic characters and with fairies as well. Sometimes people believe that because you are portraying, let's say, Aurora, this has to be your constant movement, and oh my gosh, you're so sleepy all the time. You're gonna bore kids to death. It is very, very important that you are still dynamic with your characters, meaning that you are doing those strong, those elegant movements, and then you are still keeping said character pattern moving. You are still constantly doing something. That is so commonly forgotten in the industry. I see so many princesses out there performing, and whenever they are not the center of attention in the background, they move to the back and all you see is this. This is not a resting pose for any character whatsoever. You need to have a little bit of frame if you are going to be, for example, Elsa. How would Elsa have a resting pose in a corner while Anna is still in the center? You go ahead and you extend your arms, or maybe you are going to bring your arms forward and you're going to nod with your head and agree with whatever Anna is saying, or be like, oh my dear, no. That is a resting pose because you're still not resting. Your character needs to be it looks as if you're still doing a lot, but you are genuinely not. So being dynamic and quick with your character is very important. How do you know how to move like your character? Because you fully analyzed your character and because you practiced your character's movements. Notice how in every single key trait that is important for your mannerisms to have, those are two requirements, because you can't really walk into a party and expect to be confident and look fluid and have big movements if you don't know who you're portraying or what you're doing. So it's very, very important that you understand that yes, some characters are quicker than others. For example, Asha, she waves like so, and she's a little bit quirky, you know, even though she still mumbles a lot, which is very different from Rapunzel, because obviously Rapunzel has a different type of pattern. But whenever we are working with Aurora, she does have a different movement to her, but everything is still quick, everything is still on the spot. You need to practice how to constantly understand these characters' movement. Last but not least, it all ties down to one main key trait, and that is to be true to your character. Don't go out there and portray Mirabelle as a shy, not really outgoing character, because that's not who she is. Kids are not only going to think that you're fake once more because you're not moving like the character that they know you are, but your performance is going to bring down not only your own, obviously, character, but your company's image. Pardon the barking. It's very important that you are constantly analyzing your character and you are finding new movements and things that they normally do. I've been portraying Rapunzel for 5 years now, and I kid you not, it was about 2.5 years ago that I started incorporating her mumbling with like these kinds of fidgets that she sometimes has. Because I once obviously saw the movie, I knew that she mumbled, but I didn't really analyze the fact that she mumbled. You know what I mean? Sometimes we look at the movies and we know that characters do certain things, but we don't really analyze that they're there, that we can use them, or why it is that they do these things. So it's very, very important that you're constantly analyzing your characters and obviously staying true to them. It is their legacy, after all, that we are carrying out. So portraying them in the proper way, not only, you know, in terms of how you look, but also in terms of how you move and act, is very, very important to bring them to life. I truly hope that this video has been educational. I know that I went everywhere basically in these 5 points. They are 5 points, but they have a ton of information in them. But what I really want you to understand is that you have all the necessary tools, resources, and capability of executing high quality magical performances. You just have to really understand what it is that you're doing, analyze it, see what techniques and what moves and what works for you in order to obviously make it your own and, you know, carry out our characters' legacies. If you have any questions about this video because you need some clarification or you'd like more information about the Academy or my training services, definitely reach out to me on Instagram because that's where I reply the fastest at happy.blonde.s. Happy Blonde signing off, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!